3 blue and 3 yellow, correct?
Yeah.
And what we're using these for
Oh my gosh.
is these are what's making that X on the switch. So we're going to go from one corner to the opposite corner, and then that corner to that corner. And this is how, on that switch, which Jeremy demonstrated, this is how you get forward and reverse. Okay? So what we do is we got 3 screws. So you're going to use the screwdriver, unscrew, and put them in. Essentially, you want to go opposite corners. And what we want to do is, why don't we go...
You work on the no?
Essentially, keep it color coordinated. So yellow is going to be one of the... from one side to the other, and always keep it, if you keep it color coordinated, it'll just make it easier.
Oh, no, that's yellow.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter.
This corner.
Left side should be yellow.
It doesn't matter, because this
that's
is going across.
in the picture-
One side's going to be on the left,
wait,
one's
what
going to be on the
about
right.
this?
So
In the
let's
picture,
follow.
yellow is
Yeah, let's follow
this
the
one
picture.
to this one, blue is this one to this one. And
There
we
is no
just
blue there, though.
It's over.
On the end.
It is over here.
Oh.
Yep.
Do that. Okay, you should
Let's
tighten that.
get the first one tightened up.
I got it.
So,
Okay, you want to know a little trick that might help? We can actually turn that. You got it? You can actually turn these switches a little bit. Okay?
Okay. I don't know if it's.
Okay, here. I'll do this one.
As long as it's tough,
Sean,
it's
I can do
tight.
this one.
Yep. So we got 6 of these, so everyone can do one, and 2 people can do 2. The coral, there's going to be coral and oil samples in the same thing. Oil samples are just PVC teeth painted black. There's going to be 5 of those. You have to pick the 5 corals up and actually transplant them, not bring them back to the surface. And once you do that, then there's going to be 10 oil samples. PVC, half-inch PVC teeth painted black, that you have to bring back up to the tube with the teeth. So it's
Dude, we each get one, and then do people get 2?
and so if you look online, like I say, all this, there's good pictures, how to build it, or all
Just blue
But yeah,
should
there's
go
going to
here.
be
I'll
5.
do
this
blue
one's easier,
there.
this one's easier.
You pick them up and move them.
Oh, yeah, blue. Yeah, okay.
Because they're
Here,
in
I'm not do that.
Do they have to be standing up?
They will be.
Oh, I mean, like when we set them down, do they have to still be standing up?
Only a couple hundred in the whole world.
And if you build your own, you will need to put just a little bit of weight in there. So glue a nut, a bolt, or rock or something in the bottom.
Feels like lunchtime.
Although for the scout class, what you're in, you don't go on to the international competitions. There's a bunch of regional competitions around
It goes
the
here,
world
right?
now who are doing the scout classes.
So the middle school scout class, next level up, the high school, the ranger class, and they go to from that
Alright, wait.
invited
Where are the rest of the... Wait, we only took...
colleges.
Oh, never mind. It's your turn, Alicia.
And that international competition.
Oh, okay.
Is it yellow for right here?
Yeah, there to there.
Scotland, Russia, and all over the U.S. It's a little weird. It's all You know, the actual the final one, this year's Florida, last year's Houston, one of my favorite schools, Newton. They had a testing facility for ships. When we first went in, it was like, where's your cell phone and your camera? Thank you very much. That kind of level testing, previous 2 winners from the America's Cup tested in that facility.
When we were up there for a site visit, my boss and I, the Italian World Cup team was in there, and so it's like all screened off, and that's when they're like No cameras today, you know, sorry, but top secret stuff.
I don't think it's
How's it going? Okay.
Set up fire sprinkler. So it starts snowing. It's the water, seizes the water, and allows them to build up.
Okay, one more to go, right? Well, one more switch, 2 more wires.
And then they drag the model through it. That was one. The next one over was a huge square tank, shut down that year for repairs or upgrades with wave generators all around. Just they say what you would see a little ripple at the edge. And then in the middle, the water would shoot up to the ceiling and you'd see the floor. Because you get all this square area coming together at once. Yeah, it was like, was a tow tank. So it was 200 meters long, with a bridge over it, and that bridge could get up to 20 meters per second. Tracking an AUV, an ROV, a submarine model, a destroyer model, a lifeboat with people in it, whatever they wanted to test through the water, and it had a wave generator again just to make things fun. That was the testing facility. The school still had a third tank with glass walls, well, plexiglass. So you had actual students sitting, looking into this tank, and it was like a huge underwater air test. So they put the water through it, and you have to test deployment for next.
Where's the?
The bottom actually
my
moved.
turn.
It was like
Sean.
a
Sean.
You can do the next one.
continuous
You can do the,
You can
the
do
other
these
side
on.
of it.
section, so you would see what it did on the floor. Yeah. Yeah, the previous 2 winners that tested that facility all went up. Yeah, there's some submarine US Navy ones that are a little bigger. Plus when I was there, they had 2 ROV simulators. On electronics. ROV's gonna do? Couple of screens, so they can run either the radar or the sonar. See your camera on these. And then there's also somebody sitting on the hallway area that's got control of all of them.
Is this black part here? That's just kind of a strengthener divider. We don't need that. So we're going to cut that off. But again, don't want to snip any wires. Okay, and what you're going to notice, you have blue and white, brown and white, green and white, orange and white. Okay? So we only need 3 pairs of wires. There's 2 wires in each of these. So one of these colors we don't need. And it's up to you to decide what color you don't want to use today. So we have 3 motors, so we only need 3 pairs of wires.
We should leave the orange.
No brown? Okay. We don't want to actually cut it because you might need it later. So we're just going to bend it back a little bit and twist it around. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is just untwist these a little bit. And tell you what, you untwist those 2, you untwist those 2, you can untwist those 2.
Blog where this would be appropriate to put it out there to all these regional bases and say, who's done this? Who has registered this as a robotics class?
I'm just going to get your other end out. This is going to be the top end of your RV. This is going to be the bottom end. And we want a little more wire on the bottom end, so I'm going to cut about a foot, 12 inches, 30 centimeters off here. So I'm going to do the same thing where I just try and get the little bit of that yellow cut without getting too much, without cutting any of the wires inside. So once I get that little nick, I'm just going to twist and expand that hole as best I can.
Metal rails and like a little motor attached to like a train brake.
Once I've got it loose, I can slowly expand that.
Yeah, that's where I didn't know what to do. So I
Sounds pretty cool.
okay. And then in that mission task, it outlines exactly.
They're still on the same size,
Okay.
using plastic and control. Right, so
So now it's like, what do we do now? Yeah, I'm excited about getting the.
And then pull that yellow sheath off, and there we go. But this end, since this is a bottom end, we're just going to leave this for a while, okay? So now what we need to do is up here, we need to strip the ends of these, each one of these, and we need to add a crimp to the end of each of these. So we're on this page now, and you can see we have the 6 wires we're going to use.
I'm here all day.
Blue, blue and white, green, green and white, orange, orange and white. So you want to strip this over. And these wires, what? Yeah, you want to use small one. But what you'll notice is these wires are actually a little bit thinner than the last ones. So what you might want to do is actually strip off about 2 centimeters of this, about 1 inch of this. So strip a little bit more. You want to go about twice as much. Yeah, right about there. Yep.
Oh, that doesn't even fit. Okay.
Yeah, these are harder. We can try this one here.
What
This
about
actually-
these old?
It might, those aren't pliers, that's not a stripper. Okay, so we're gonna use this stripper for this, and what we do is a little hole, you'll notice as I squeeze, it makes a really little hole right there.
Okay.
We don't wanna, because if you squeeze all the way, it'll cut. What we wanna do is squeeze just enough, so we have a notch, and then, there we go.